It's no secret that I love crowd control status ailments, and when it comes to Monster Hunter World, I love using Paralysis. So my fellow hunters, we're ready to get back into some of my favorite endgame builds. So it's fitting that we start off with a Paralysis build since I did the same thing when I initially launched this channel. So, say hello to the Shocketeer. It's an insect glaive build that's made to CC monsters and shrug off most of the BS they throw at you. I do need to emphasize that these builds are in no way meant to replace the meta. The meta does have a place in Monster Hunter World, but it's still a game and there are other interesting ways to play it. These are just what I find interesting, and maybe you might too. Now let's get to building the Shocketeer. Our weapon is going to be the Kodachi Vipertail 2, that's the insect glaive from the Viper Toby Kodachi. Our head is going to be the Pride Helm Beta Plus from Seething Basil Goose. The Death Garen Mail Beta is going to be on your chest. And the waist is going to be the Acidic Gladness Coil Beta. The arms and legs are going to come from Jan Garuga, with the Alpha in the arms and the Beta on the legs. For decorations, we saw 2 Paralyzer Jewels into the weapon. An Expert Jewel level 4 in the head with another Paralyzer Jewel, an Enhancer Vitality level 4 Jewel, and a Vitality Jewel in the chest. We're going to throw a Vitality Jewel in the arms, and I put an Enhancer Protection level 4 Jewel in the waist, but feel free to sub any Enhancer level 4 Jewel here, or just an Enhancer Jewel if you don't have a level 4 Enhancer Jewel. In the legs, we slot in 3 Tenderizer Jewels. In the level 4 slot, I wanted to put a Tenderizer level 4 Jewel, but I didn't have any. But if you are lucky enough to have that, why not grab the extra skill, right? Based on my build here, this gives us Critical Eye 6, Earplugs 5, Handicraft 5, Health Boost 3, Paralysis Attack 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Power Plonger 2, Divine Blessing 1, and we have a couple throwaway skills with Dragon Resistance and Blast Attack from the armor. So the Shocketeer is a fairly comfortable insect glaive build, and surprisingly low cost to put together. You can use whichever kinsect you want, but I went for the Folio Cast 3 Metis, the one that leaves behind the healing dust. And since monsters hit so damn hard in Master Rank, any opportunity to heal up besides using potions makes for a comfier time. Typically, I like to give the hunters a choice in the augments they run, but this one I recommend that you get at least affinity increase up to level 2. This ensures that with the 6 points in Critical Eye and Weakness Exploit maxed out, we get a base affinity of 85 when we hit weak points and 105 when going for the tenderized parts. While the Kodachi Vipertail 2 isn't the beefiest insect glaive in the game, currently it's the only one that doesn't have the status effect hidden. Personally, I would want to build something around the Acidic Glavenus insect glaive, but I haven't figured out quite yet how to make one that factors in 3 points in free element. I made sure to run some defensive skills here as well. Mostly to keep it comfy, but more so to allow you to fly around the air without a roar knocking you back to the ground. Max in earplugs ensures you can stay latched onto a monster's face and it can't roar you off, creating more of an opportunity to flinch shot them in the walls. Pair that with a temporal mental and we've got a free flinch shot every single time. Max in handicraft and paralysis attack further bolsters the damage by granting this weapon a little bit of purple sharpness and bumping up the paralysis damage to 300. Which means that you're going to be shocking them and holding them in place more often. Also, the 2 points in Power Belonger help to increase the duration that your weapon is powered up. This helps ease up the need to constantly gather extracts from the monster. So now, I want to give you guys a couple recommended adjustments for my build in case you want to mix it up a little bit. Here are some of my suggested adjustments to make this build a little bit different and to work out better for you. If you don't care about Power Prolonger and you're lucky enough to have a level 4 attack jewel, you can slot in that level 4 attack jewel in place of one of the Enhancer Protection jewels and either sub out the 2 Vitality jewels or 2 of the Paralysis jewels for 2 attack jewels. By now you should have at least 2 attack decos anyways, so I'm sure that if you have that level 4 attack deco and 2 single attack decos, you can at least bolster your attack a bit more, which is super helpful for an insect glaive like this. And of course you gotta pick which one to sacrifice. If you don't care about having the extra health, you can drop the Vitality Jewels. But at the same time, if you don't care so much about the additional paralysis damage, you can drop those jewels as well. If you want to drop all the Vitality Jewels from the build, you can also sub out the Enhanced Vitality Jewel for either a Flight Deco to add that 30% attack power to your jumping attacks, or a Sharp Deco to get Protective Polish. It could be useful for maintaining that purple sharpness. And with that, my fellow hunters, that's the Shocketeer. Thank you very much for tuning in, and welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you guys checking out my stuff. Please feel free to sound off in the comments below. If you dig my stuff, like the video, and please consider subscribing to my channel. So until next time, hunters, you stay frosty, because Iceborne, am I right? And get lifted. Bye guys.